I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max off and on for a full year now, swapping it in and out with my Android devices, and here's the thing, I am primarily an Android user, and the majority of my videos on my channel are about Android phones. What's my opinion on the 16 Pro Max? Well, more positive than you might think. Let's kick it off with the design. This phone is objectively beautiful. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't look a whole lot similar to the iPhone 14 Pro Max or even earlier iPhones, to be honest, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It has an identity. When you see it, you know it's an iPhone, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max is the best version of that design yet. Plus, if the rumors of the iPhone 17 Pro Max are real, this video is being made prior to the event, then this design might even look better than the new iPhone to some people. It's well polished and feels incredible in the hand with the slightly curved matte titanium sides, which are way better than a shiny finish. You also get Apple's ceramic shield on the front and the back, and you get IP68 water and dust resistance, so no worries dropping this in water or getting it wet. It's not too heavy or too light, coming in at 227 grams, and the colors are, well, kind of on the boring side. You get black, white, natural, which is the one I have, and desert. I think the natural looks best, but let's face it, none of them look as good as the non-Pro models. Even as an Android user, I have to say that this phone looks great without a case and feels very premium. And something that I don't see a lot of reviewers talk about is the haptic feedback. This is something that is very important to me, and I think that the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL has the best haptics of Android devices right now. So let's see how it compares to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And another premium quality of the iPhone 16 Pro Max is that beautiful display. Listen, I've been daily driving the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and have been spoiled in the display department. But it's impossible to deny that the iPhone display looks bright, colorful, and crisp, and I love the more reduced bezels in the previous generation. You get a 6.9-inch LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED with 120Hz adaptive refresh rate. I was disappointed on paper that we only get 2000 nits of peak brightness, but in real-world use, the screen gets much brighter than I expected. I had no issues using this outdoors in my bright Florida sun. My only complaint, I would love to see the dynamic island fully software integrated in the hardware under the display, or the hardware to reduce in size. There's a ton of cool benefits of the dynamic island, so please don't get me wrong, but it still bugs me whenever I watch content to have a gaping hole in my screen. And for the battery, I have been waiting for years to see an iPhone that shocked me as much as the 13 Pro Max did when it released. Apple, you did it. The 16 Pro Max is an absolute battery champ. Capacity is bumped slightly to 4,685 mAh, and the endurance legitimately improved for me versus the 15 Pro Max. I am regularly getting a solid 10 hours of screen on time on average. My battery health is at 93% for reference, which is a lot lower than I expected it to be, and my use consists of taking phone calls, sending messages to friends and family, taking photos and video, FaceTiming family, listening to music, and playing on Apple Arcade, which is something that I envy a lot as an Android user. If you're concerned about battery, but don't want to drop money on the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max, this is the phone to buy, while saving hundreds of dollars. Where it's not overwhelmingly amazing is the charging speed. And it did get better, so I'm not trying to be super harsh on this point, especially considering you can easily get more than a full day of use. But regardless, you can get about 50% in 30 minutes, but to go from 0% to 100%, it still takes close to 2 hours. It's not a deal breaker, but for the price, I would like to see even faster charging from Apple. Good thing though is that you get 2nd gen MagSafe up to 25 watts, and we all know how freaking awesome MagSafe is. And for the performance, come on, it's an iPhone. Even an Android user like me, I can admit that the iPhone is blazing fast and fluid. You're getting the A18 Pro chip and 8GB of RAM. Just look at these benchmarks. This thing is an absolute powerhouse, and it shows. Taking video for long periods of time, editing photos, and gaming with any game is going to be absolutely perfect and without stutters. It's simply insane performance, and Apple's A18 Pro chip is way more powerful than it has any reason to be. You're also getting USB-C, thank you again Europe, and it's running at 3.2 Gen 2 speeds, so transferring data is fast with any kind of external drive. Plus, if you like streaming and gaming like me, you're getting Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3, making this a terrific Xbox Game Pass phone, even though Apple, can we get a foldable soon please? And I don't mean to glaze this phone so much, but here's a little bit more. When getting to something like the camera, this phone is just freaking peak for still shots and video. For the hardware, you get a 48 megapixel main camera, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel 5x tetraprism telephoto. Photos from the main camera are always reliable and have great exposure, dynamic range, and true to life color. I personally prefer the more punchy and vibrant and maybe not really true to life colors of the Pixel phones, but the iPhone shows me exactly what I see with my own eyes. It also captures a ton of detail in various lighting scenarios. Apple's 2x crop that uses the 12 megapixel is still amazing in good light, but it loses a lot of detail in low light because of the small sensor size. But hey, it is better than regular 2x digital zoom. The 5x telephoto is fantastic outdoors, especially in good lighting, and does a better job than I expected in low light as well, capturing plenty of detail to get photos that are good enough to share. The ultra wide is great here too, but I don't even bother using it that much in low light because of the loss in detail. But in good lighting, it really does have similar performance to the main sensor, so that's a good thing. In portrait photos, well, it's an iPhone. Yes, they're amazing and edge detection is fantastic. No complaints here. And as I say in all of my Android reviews, the iPhone is simply the best phone that you can buy for recording video. Color is terrific, stabilization is smooth, and all lenses are consistent in lighting and color. But low light introduces some lens reflections from point light sources like maybe like a lamp or something like that, which still is a thing to consider if you do a lot of low light video recording. But with all that glaze, here is some reality, and at the risk of getting Apple fans to hit that dislike button down below, I'm just going to come out and say it. The camera control key, at least for me, has been nothing more than a camera shortcut button. I don't use any of its features. It's annoying to navigate through the settings and the zooms, and it's just not enjoyable to use. I like that I can open my camera quickly, but at the same time, I could just use my quick action button that I used to do on my 15 Pro Max anyways. I think it's still a gimmick, but again, that's just me. And I really want to know, because maybe I'm wrong on this. Do any of you use it to its full potential, or is it simply a quick way for you to open your camera? Let me know down below. And for the software, while I still prefer Android personally, sorry Apple fans, I have to give it to Apple. iOS 18 is the most customizable iOS we have ever had. And that's not even considering that the iOS 26 beta that I'm currently running on my 15 Pro Max has a ton of cool features and more to come. I won't cover everything in this video, but just know that the software is fluid and reliable and never ever stutters. The one thing I wish I could change is to have the ability to speed up animations like I have with my Android devices. I think Apple's animations are great and fluid, but they feel too slow compared to something like my Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. But the actual software offers a ton of cool features, even from the perspective of an Android user like me. Here are some of my favorites that Apple has added, and at this point, as much as I love Android, Apple is making it easier for Apple users to just keep buying more iPhones. Apart from the typical things that I envy as an Android user, like AirDrop, handoff, the overall ecosystem integration, and things like that, you have newer things that run great on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, like the ability to redesign your control center in basically any way that you want, new lock screen shortcuts that you can finally customize to the best of your ability, the home screen customization, which is great this year and even better in iOS 26, the photo app, which is awesome. You can search for things like dog laying in bed and boom, there you go. It's very intelligent. And speaking of intelligence, visual intelligence is super cool. Just opening it up and getting the AI integration, I really appreciate this feature, even though I know I already mentioned I'm not a huge fan of the camera control key. And you also get cool writing AI tools similar to other devices out there. And Image Playground, which is fun at times when I'm bored and just want to be creative. Magic Wand, which honestly, I still prefer Google's Magic Eraser, but Magic Wand is okay too. Genmoji, which is a very cool feature if you're very social. The Siri ChatGPT integration, which is great and works on the fly whenever I need it to. And Safari AI tricks like the AI mode that helps you hide random crap and ads that you don't want to see when you're reading through an article. And for the speakers and sound quality, I think it goes without saying that it's nothing short of amazing. So after 1 year of use, do I recommend you go buy an iPhone 16 Pro Max? Do you want a phone with one of the best displays on the market, battery life that will almost always last you more than a day's use, crazy fast, fluid, and near perfect performance, arguably the best camera of any phone available right now, and software that is clean and more customizable than ever? Well, then yes. Is it going to stop me from daily driving an Android phone? No, but hey, that's just my preference. However, I can absolutely recommend it, even if I think the camera control is still kind of a gimmick. I would even check out the 15 Pro Max, which is very similar and will save you hundreds of dollars. If this helped you, please give this video a like down below and subscribe for more if you like what I do, and I will see all of you next time.